All right, so in this video, I'm going to give you 3 incredible practice tips that will totally change your whole approach to learning the piano and hopefully will actually make it enjoyable. You know, for so many people, learning the piano is stressful, and it shouldn't be. It should be one of the most fun experiences you have. But what really makes it stressful is this desire to get good so fast, you know, when it's not really achievable. So what we really need to create is consistency. So I'm going to give 3 incredible tips here that will help you with that. So number 1, right, first thing, before we jump into it, I'm not really going to be playing anything. So if you're expecting this to be some tutorial on how to place your hands or anything like that, that's not what these are about. These are more mental tips, although these go a long, long way and will help you whether you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, and you just need some help, you know, improving. So let's start with the first thing. The first thing I did was I created a timesheet for myself. So you can download this, print it out, it's totally free, it's in the description of this video. So what I've basically done is broken down an entire day from 6 a.m. all the way till 11:45 p.m., right? You won't see the a.m. or the p.m. here, but we'll assume that we'll start at 6 in the morning. And basically I've created 15-minute intervals. So there's a new time every 15 minutes, right? So we have 6, 6:15, 6:30, 6:45, 7, 7:15, 7:30, and so on. And that takes us all the way until 11:45 p.m. Now, the reason I do this is because one of the most important things with learning the piano and with practicing the piano is to actually put a set time in your schedule of when you want to practice, right? A lot of people make the mistake of saying, oh, I have a few minutes today, I'm going to go sit over at the piano and practice. Or, oh, I didn't have time today, you know, so I didn't get a chance to practice. And it's kind of just sporadic whenever you feel like it or whenever you feel that you have the time to do it. That's when you practice. But that's really setting yourself up for failure. You know, that's not a good long-term approach. It can work for the first few months of learning, but it doesn't really create, you know, anything good for you in the long term. So with this timesheet, you can create a new one for every single day. If you have a different schedule Monday, different schedule Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, print 7 of these and create 7 different ones so you can see your schedule laid out. If you have, you know, the same work schedule pretty much this Monday through Friday, then one of these should pretty much work for you. So what you're going to do is, what I want you to do is you're going to take this and you're going to look at each time block, right? There's a square next to each time block where you can put what you are doing in that time. So let's just say, right, maybe you don't wake up until 8 in the morning. So from 6 until 8, you could put sleep here, right? So you're sleeping all through there. Then I want you to say exactly what you're doing. So let's just say 8 in the morning, you wake up, you shower. Put that in your time block, shower, 8 to 8:15. Eat breakfast, 8:15 to 8:30. Right? And maybe you know you leave for work at 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock you put, you know, leave for work. You stay at work all the way until, let's just say, 5 p.m., right? So you're at work from 9:30 to 5, let's say. So this is all just going to be work, 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 right? So the first thing you'll notice, right, is you're going to have a little gap here from 8:30 to 9, right? You'll have a little gap from 8:30 to 9 after you've eaten breakfast and showered, but before you leave for work. So you can simply look at that time and say, you know, maybe I can fit 15 minutes of practice in every morning at 8:30 before I get to work. The mornings are some of the best time to practice because your brain is so fresh. You have all the energy you need. You know, a lot of times you come home from work exhausted. The last thing you want to do is then go spend more mental energy practicing the piano. So if you feel that can work, you can do it there. Or if you wake up a little earlier, maybe you'll find you have more time blocks in there. So that's one way you could do it, right? Then you keep going through your schedule, right? 5 o'clock, you know, you get home, right? Maybe assume you want to relax for 30 minutes, even an hour, right? So let's take you all the way to 6, right? You finish work at 5, you get home 5:30, but you want to relax till 6. Now, fill out the rest of your schedule, right? What time do you have dinner most of the time, right? It doesn't have to be exact. It can just be a general statement of most of the time. Figure that out. If you have kids, you have other priorities, put those in there, right? Anything that's non-negotiable, right? Work is non-negotiable. You can't say, oh, I'll go to work 30 minutes late so I can practice piano, right? Can't do that. So those are non-negotiables. Those have to go on your schedule first. So put the non-negotiables in there first, right? Anything that you cannot change, you know, it can't be switched around. It goes in there, right? Maybe you meet with someone. Maybe you know, always need to have dinner at the exact same time with your family. Put it in there. It's non-negotiable. You don't need to switch that around. Things that you'll notice that you can switch around, right, are what time you wake up, right? A lot of times waking up 15 minutes earlier, once you look at, you know, your time in this type of format, you realize 15 minutes is a lot of time. That is the time you could practice piano. So by waking up 15 minutes earlier, 7:45 instead of 8, you've now created an extra 15 minutes in your schedule that you can use to practice. Or going to bed 15 minutes later, whatever it may be. So I would really like you to, print this out and try and fill it out and see, like I said, if you have totally different schedules every single day, then print out multiple of these. If you have the same schedule, right, all the time, then you really can just get away with doing one of these, maybe two of them, because your weekend schedule may be different. But the goal here, the whole point of this, is to find one time during the week, right, one specific time every day that will work for you. Ideally, you can pick the same time, right, 8:30 every morning. If that's your piano schedule, you'll stick to it, right? It's much easier to stick to something when it's the same time every day because it becomes a priority. It becomes something that's part of your life, not just something when you feel like it, when you think you have the time. You're creating it to be a non-negotiable. So that's the goal of this. It allows you to lay out your whole entire schedule on a piece of paper, see it visually and say, oh wow, there's more 15-minute gaps than I thought there was. That's the beauty of doing this. So like I said, you can download this. It's in the description. You'll find a copy of it, print as many of them as you'd like, and fill them out. And you will notice, besides just with your piano practice, you'll notice finding more time in your schedule all the time. This is a great technique for anything you want to fit into your schedule and just for kind of organizing your life. All right, so that is practice tip number 1. Now, practice tip number 2 goes along with that, right? When I'm just assuming here that you only have 15 minutes to practice. Obviously, if you think you can do 30 minutes in a day, even an hour, go right ahead. If you think you only have 5 or 10 minutes, that's fine as well. Put it in your schedule, even if it's only 5 minutes. Even if you practice from 8:30 to 8:35 every morning, that's better than nothing to keep that consistent. So the second thing that I'm going to talk about, right, is now looking at a piece, right? So most likely you're practicing. If you're not studying with a teacher, maybe you're just flipping through YouTube or, just kind of going through things randomly, not really sure where to go next. So it will be, not everyone will be on the same level for this. But if you are always kind of working on specific pieces, one of the benefits of working with a teacher is they're always assigning you new things. They understand what things are going to help you improve. That's one of the best things about teachers is they're there to help keeping you improve, giving you new things that will challenge you and will ultimately make you better. But let's just say this is the piece you're working on. Maybe this looks way too difficult for you. Doesn't matter, beyond the point. This whole piece, right, is 4, 8, 12, right? Probably about 16 to 18 measures long. A lot of people make the mistake. Now, this is practice tip number 2. You do not need to finish a whole entire piece in one day, and especially in one practice setting, right? Rather than always just practicing the whole piece from beginning to end, beginning to end, beginning to end, you need to set goals for yourself in your practice time. So once again, going back to that 15-minute concept, right? You have 15 minutes to practice. Now this, once again, this applies whether you're doing 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, it doesn't matter. The same concept applies. You need to set goals for yourself, right? What specifically are you working on while you're practicing, right? So you have this 15 minutes. Rather than sitting down and fumbling through a bunch of papers or scrolling through YouTube, wasting your time, what do I want to do here? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? You should already have in mind what it is you want to practice. So if you want to practice this piece, this is the piece you're working on, you should approach the piano and say, today, my goal is just to get the first 4 measures down. That's it, right? So you forget about all of this, and this becomes your sole focus here. You could then break it down hand by hand. You could work measure by measure. I have other videos for talking about, how to practice a piece specifically. That'll be up there. You should see a link for it right now. But what I'm talking about here is just mostly just setting goals, right? Don't just sit at the piano and play until you get bored, play until you get frustrated, play until that feels like enough today. Just set a goal. 4 measures, right? You have 15 minutes. That should be very doable. Let's say, right, it takes you all 15 minutes and you get all 4 measures down. Great. Good. That was a perfect amount of time. Let's say 3 minutes go by in your 15-minute practice session and you already have these 4 measures down. Well, you have a choice. You can say, you know what? I finished what I wanted to finish today. I have an extra 12 minutes in my day now. I can go do something else. Or you can say, let's continue. Let's go to the next 4 measures. Once again, not just saying, let's just keep playing the rest of the piece, but now setting a new goal. Okay, I have 12 minutes left. Let's put in, right, the next 4 measures and see if I can implement those. And you can do that. A side note from this, right, is this really isn't tip number 3. This is still part of tip number 1 and 2 combined, but it's to set a timer, right? So when you're practicing for 15 minutes, set a timer. Put a 15-minute timer on, hit start, and get to your practice. And when the timer's up, have the ability to take your fingers off the keys and say, that's what I was able to do today, right? Don't judge your practice. I didn't do it well enough. I didn't finish it properly. It's okay. You did what you could. You had a goal. Your timer's up. You can move away. Of course, feel welcome to stay if you know you have the time. But sometimes, if you're practicing 15 minutes a day consistently, that's going to be more than enough to help you improve, right? It's not about, did you finish the piece today? It's just, did you work towards something? And that's the most important thing. And now that will bring me to tip number 3. So just to recap, right, before we get into tip number 3, tip number 1, right, set that schedule, put a specific time in your schedule where you can practice. Tip number 2, set a goal and a timer for your practice, right? So the timer sets how long you're gonna practice for. Always use that. It'll help you stay focused. And the second thing, right, is the goal. How many measures do you wanna finish today? Do you wanna do 4 measures? Do you wanna do 8 measures? Do you wanna just work on your C major scale today, right? These are all different things you could be working on. Do you wanna work on chord progressions? Very specific goals we can set, because what this does between that, the goals and the timer, is it keeps us focused. That's one of the hardest things to do at the piano, is not get overwhelmed by all the millions of things you could learn, but to each day just have a specific goal of something you want to work on, whether it's a section of a piece, scales, chords, an exercise, whatever it may be. So that brings me to tip number 3, which is just a general tip and feeling to give you, which is patience, right? You need to understand that learning the piano takes patience, right? And I know maybe you've heard this before and it's frustrating because you just want to learn fast and all these apps are telling you there's the new way to learn the piano that will shortcut all these other methods, right? And I'd hate to be, pessimistic, but it's not true, right? Learning the piano takes time. There's no shortcuts for time and experience, right? Like I was using this example the other day with a student, which is like driving a car. When you first learn to drive a car, right? You're totally new to the road, right? You can't just practice, you can't just drive around the neighborhoods for hours and hours and think that's what's gonna help, right? You need real world experience. You need to just be out on the road over time. As you run into different troubles, you'll learn how to maneuver out of them and you'll get more and more comfortable behind the wheel. Most people don't become good drivers for, till their late 20s, early 30s. So after 13 to 15 years of driving, just like with learning a language, right? You don't just first grade, learn the alphabet and all of a sudden you're speaking fluent and reading every book out there. No. You continue learning the language. You don't become fluent in a language for, once again, 12 to 15 years. So why would piano be any different than that, right? You have to be patient and just understand there's no shortcuts. Don't get down on yourself and think you're not good enough. I don't have this. I can't do that. If you do what I said, right, put it in your schedule to practice. You're consistently getting to the piano. Of course, it's okay to miss a day or two here. It's okay to miss a week or two here. It's even okay to take a month off if necessary. But for the most part, try and keep it consistent, getting to the piano 4 to 5 times a week. You're setting a timer, you're setting goals for your practice, you'll be in good shape. You will continue to improve, I promise, right? Don't judge yourself every single day. That's not going to do you good, right? Don't finish the practicing session and say, did I get better today? Don't look back a week later and say, did I get better this week? Judge yourself maybe every 3 to 6 months. Look back and say, did I improve in these 3 to 6 months? And 99% of the time is, yes, you will have, right? But you can't judge yourself every day. And the last thing I'll do is, right, give a little analogy on that, which is like going to the gym. Let's say you want to lose weight or you want to, bulk up and get really strong, right? You can't go to the gym one time, right? Do a 30-minute workout and then flex your muscles in the mirror and think, did I get stronger today, right? It's not how it works, right? You need to go to the gym consistently for months and months and months to start seeing any change. And so it's going to be the same at the piano, right? We need to just be patient, put our consistent time and effort in, and you will see change. All right, so those are my 3 practice tips for you. Once again, just to recap, right? Print out the schedule, find a time slot in your schedule where you can practice every single day at the same time. It'll help you so much. Number 2, right? Practice tip 2, set a timer for your practice, as well as setting a goal for your practice. What specifically are you working on? What are you practicing on? Not just, I'm playing the piano today, so I practice, but what specifically are you working on? And then tip number 3 is be patient, right? Just stay consistent and be patient and everything will be all right. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video with these, little mental tips. If you'd like more videos like this, please let me know. I'm always happy to help. Check out the description. I offer free private lessons, free group lessons, online courses, so many things to offer to make learning the piano something that's affordable and accessible to everyone. All right, well, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you again for the next video.